Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you my Alice in Wonderland collection. So I have been collecting Alice in Wonderland books for quite a while now. I don't have as much as you probably think that I have because, as most of you know, Alice in Wonderland is like my favorite book of all time, and I really love Lewis Carroll, and I'm just really fascinated by the whole concept of Alice in Wonderland and his writing style and everything like that. So I've been collecting different editions and some kind of old ones and children's books and things like that. So I'm going to show you today which ones I have so far. This one I just purchased, and it is a children's adaptation to Alice in Wonderland, and it has a very beautiful cover, and the inside is a bit different. The illustrations are different, obviously, because it's a children's book, and it's written a little bit more like understandable to children, because if you've read Alice in Wonderland you probably know that it can be kind of hard to understand. But I really like this edition because of the illustrations and everything. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. This one was illustrated by Nomique Gord, and this was published in 1997, so it's not that old, but I'm really happy that I have this to add to my collection because I don't have very many children's versions of the book, so I really want to start collecting more of those. The next one that I have is the pop-up adaptation by Robert Sabuda, and you guys probably saw this if you watched one of my bookshelf tours. I have since moved it to my favorite shelf, but this is a pop-up book adaptation to Alice in Wonderland, and it is awesome. The guy that does the pop-ups is very amazing. As you can see, it's very elaborate, very detailed, and it's amazing. Like, I couldn't pass this up when I saw it at the store. I think that the way that he put these together is just incredible. I'm not going to show it all off because, you know, some of you guys might want to buy this and be surprised at how amazing these pop-ups are. So definitely pick this up if you're an Alice in Wonderland fan, because I think you will really enjoy it. The next one that I have is the Annotated Alice, which is the definitive edition, and it's got an introduction and notes by Martin Gardner, and it also has the original illustrations from the story. So this is just the annotated version, and this was published in 2000, and basically it just kind of explains things a little bit better. If you go through, it has all these side notes and things to help you kind of understand the story better, and like how Lewis Carroll came up with the ideas that he did, and like the terminology, kind of like definitions to certain words, you know, because Lewis Carroll used some crazy words that are not necessarily in the English language. So this is a really good addition to have if you are a Wonderland fan. Now this one is not Alice in Wonderland, but it is related to it, and it is called The Mystery of Lewis Carroll, and it is by Jenny Wolfe, and it just talks about Lewis Carroll and his ideas and concepts and the story behind Alice. But it talks about like how he came to write his story. There's a lot of rumors about Lewis Carroll. His real name is Charles Dodgson, and there's just a lot of stuff about him that people are unsure about, and I won't go into it, but this book is kind of more of a positive outlook on Lewis Carroll and how he came about his ideas. If you're interested to know about the controversy surrounding Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and things like that, I would suggest that you look it up because it is kind of interesting and it's not that great. I was kind of shocked when I found out about it, but definitely recommend this book if you want to be like me and look at the positive aspect of this author. And, you know, it was so long ago, there's really no way to know if the rumors are true or not. So there's a lot of controversy. There are a lot of different books about it, and I chose this one because it focused on the positives of this author. The next one that I have is I think it's the Barnes & Noble edition, and it's Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Other Stories by Lewis Carroll, and it is gorgeous. And I know that a lot of people have this edition because it's so pretty and it has the gold pages, and it has the original illustrations as most copies do, and I really like this. The inside is gorgeous. This one was published in 1994, and it has Alice's Adventures in Wonderland Through the Looking Glass, Sylvie and Bruno Concluded, verse The Hunting of the Snark, Sylvia and Bruno, all these different stories and poems and things by Lewis Carroll. So it's really good. I highly recommend picking up any of these if you love Alice in Wonderland and Lewis Carroll. The next one that I have is just kind of like a generic one that I found shopping in like a grocery store one day, and actually my brother bought it for me, and it's this edition, and it's very pretty. and the back looks like this. And it has the original illustrations. Here's the inside, which I think is gorgeous. This one was published in 2013 by Canterbury Classics, Baker and Taylor Publishing Group. So this is not old at all. And it's, you know, the same thing. It's got a picture of Lewis Carroll on the front here. And again, just another edition to add to my collection. I really, really love this cover. Then I have this edition, and I'm not sure how old this is, but let me take a look and see. This is also a Barnes & Noble Classics edition, but this one was published in 2003, and it's just another edition of Alice in Wonderland. Here's it without the dust jacket. I'm not really too particular about finding like an old copy because I know that they're very, very expensive. I just kind of like to have the different covers and things like that because I think they're really pretty, and I like to see different illustrations and how people adapt the story. So I'm really happy to have this one in my collection as well. This next one is a Penguin Classics edition, and it's poems by Lewis Carroll, and it's called Jabberwocky and Other Nonsense, and it's just verses and poems by him. I think this is like a leather bound edition. It's pink on the inside, and this one was published, well, let's look at that illustration first. That's really cool. This one was published in 2012, so also not very old, but very nice to have in my collection. And all of these are poems, so they're all in verse like this. The next one that I have is a very, very small edition of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, and it is this one. And I found this cover to be very, very interesting because you don't see covers like this very often with an actual person on the cover instead of like a drawing. But this one has the original illustrations in it, and this was done by Penguin, and this one was published in 1998, so a little bit older, but still just the general storyline of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, and I really, really love this cover. This one is also Alice's Adventures in Wonderland with artwork by this person, and I'm not quite sure how to pronounce their name, but it's Alice in Wonderland in dots, pretty much. This edition was published in 2012, and it is filled with dots, which is awesome in my opinion. I really, really enjoy this type of artwork. This kind of take on Alice in Wonderland is just amazing to me. I think it's gorgeous and very, very, very different from anything that I've ever seen before. So just a really, really fun addition to Alice in Wonderland that you could just look at for hours because it's so gorgeous. The next one that I have is a UK edition that looks like this, and it's very, very pretty. And this one was published in, I think, 1940 something. Here's the inside. This one's a little bit older, obviously. This one was published in 1985. And it has different illustrations in it that are very unique in my opinion. I really, really like these illustrations. And this one was, doesn't say, it was done by Chancellor Press. And I don't see anywhere where it says who did the illustrations for this one. So that's unknown to me, but I think that they're very, very pretty. This one is Alice's Adventures Underground, and this is illustrated by Charles Santor. This just came out, I think it's in commemoration of the 150th anniversary, and this is very interesting. This is the original text that Lewis Carroll wrote. Not quite sure how different it is from the original Alice in Wonderland, but it has really amazing pencil drawings throughout, and I absolutely adore this edition. And I won't be putting this in my book haul for this month just because I've already shown you here, so it will go on my favorite shelf with the rest of my collection. The next one that I have is a leather-bound edition, and it has all of his illustrated works. It was published in 1982 by Crown Publishers, and it is absolutely gorgeous. I love it, and it has gold pages, and it is so beautiful, and I'm very excited to own this, and the spine is gorgeous. It has all the different titles that are in this book, and it's just beautiful. I love it so very much. And I didn't have to spend too much for it, which is freaking amazing. But the pages are thin, really, really thin. So I try to be kind of delicate with this book, but I really, really love it. And the last one that I have that I just got is probably the one that I'm really obsessed with right now. This one was done by the Heritage Illustrated Bookshelf. This one was published in 1941, and the dust jacket is okay. But if you take off the dust jacket, this book is gorgeous. Very, very beautiful. And especially this spine right here. This is what got me with this book because I love it so much. And I think that this is a UK edition. I could be wrong, but I think that it is. And it doesn't say. But it has the original illustrations in it. The text in the book is kind of large, which is fine. I mean, it looks good. And like I said, I mainly purchased this book because of the spine, because the spine is absolutely gorgeous. I love it. And you may have seen it if you follow me on Instagram. I post a lot of pictures of books that I get in the mail or books that I've been reading, things of that nature. So if you're interested, please check out my Instagram. I'll leave a link down below, and you'll see this stuff before I make a video in most cases, because I'm pretty big on posting pictures of books that I'm reading and things like that on my Instagram. This one is absolutely gorgeous, and right now is my all-time favorite. And it does have wear, obviously, because it is old. The pages are a bit yellowed, and the dust jacket does have some, you know, damage to it, but it's very, very nice. And I love it very, very much. So those are all of my Alice in Wonderland books that I have so far. I do plan on continuing collecting Alice in Wonderland books throughout my lifetime, probably, because I love it so much. So let me know in the comments below which one of these editions was your favorite, and also let me know what your favorite book is. I would be really interested to know that. So that's it for this video, you guys. I will see you next time. Bye!